headquarters in New York. This is NBC Nightly News with Brian Williams.
Take a break when Nightly News continues this Tuesday night. NBC News In Depth, a study out tonight that could put parents of young children at ease over that fall flu shot. We're back here tonight with NBC News In Depth, and important news tonight that may ease some fears among parents of babies, the very young, who aren't sure whether flu shots are the right way to go for young kids. The flu season typically runs from November to March. On average, 36,000 people die of it in this country from severe bouts of it every year, and the very old and the very young are among those at greatest risk. Now, a new study published just today in the Journal of the American Medical Association says this flu vaccine is safe for the very young, infants and babies and toddlers. We know many parents will have lots of questions about the findings of the study. We'll try to answer some of those in just a moment. First, more on this study itself from NBC News correspondent Rahima Ellis.
1-year-old Dominic Guerrero is getting his flu shot. And his mom, Crystal, is relieved. With the flu season about to begin, there's more evidence today that the vaccine for infants and young children, which the CDC has been recommending, is indeed safe.
I don't have to worry if he gets sick. I know it's not because of the flu shot, and I don't have as many concerns as I did.
Dr. Simon Hambidge led the largest study so far of the flu vaccine in more than 45,000 children ages 6 to 23 months.
For me as a pediatrician, I think it's exciting to be able to reassure parents. It actually seems that young children may tolerate the vaccine better than adults do.
You got your flu shot.
Last winter, 48% of infants and young children got the flu vaccine. Now authorities want to see even more children protected.
We're recommending this year that children from 6 months to 5 years of age receive the flu vaccine. And any child who has a chronic medical condition, no matter how old they are, should be vaccinated because they're at increased risk for complications.
Complications, doctors say, could be avoided by getting a shot. That's up to 90% effective in preventing the flu.
I have a little soreness.
Rahima Ellis, NBC News,
If it's a
New
low-grade
York.
fever, fine.
As we said, even with today's news, a lot of parents will still have a lot of questions, which is why we have asked our NBC News medical editor, Dr. Nancy Snyderman, to join us here tonight. Nancy, first off, 6 months is very young, so let's talk about safety, including the anecdotal reports you hear that babies get some of the symptoms present themselves after they get the shot.
The first thing to debunk, Brian, is that you can't get the flu from a flu shot. But as for the side effects, very, very low, which should be of great comfort to a lot of parents. This study that looked at almost 70,000 vaccinations, and you know how many incidents of problems they found? 13. And really only mild cases of vomiting and diarrhea that took a baby to the doctor, not to the emergency room. And maybe some little tenderness where the shot was given, but not the kind of complications that should scare anybody away from getting the vaccination.
And with all vaccinations and shots they give their children, we will suspect that parents will talk about it beforehand. If the decision is yes, is there anything to what had been the story about this year's flu vaccine, and that was the shortages we talked about just 1 or 2 weeks ago?
The shortages are real, but not so frightening for a couple of reasons. One is one component of the vaccination, one of the viruses is growing slowly, which caught everybody a little off guard. And also, we've really expanded how many kids should get the vaccine, so that means there's more of a demand. But fortunately, flu peaks in late January, February, so there's still time. And the company that's making this vaccine is catching up. So I think you're going to see a rollout, if you will, over the next couple of weeks to months. So it is very important for parents to know that, one, this is safe, two, really do get your kids vaccinated, especially kids between the ages of 6 months and 5 years, and it is not too late. Vaccinate between now and January, and remember that if this is your child's first time getting the vaccine, you're going to need 2 doses this first time around, so check with your pediatrician now.
All right, we hope it's helpful for those considering the vaccine. Dr. Nancy Snyderman, as always. Nancy, thanks very much for joining us.